It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hey, it's Gary and Airport Steph. Steph's in an airport.
Hi.
How are you doing, Steph?
I am good, Gary. How are you?
You actually sound good. Thanks to those Shure headphones.
I know these are the Aonic 40s, and I love them a lot. They're very good for travel, and they actually don't sound that bad if you need to join.
You could speak up. I think you're afraid to be too loud because you're afraid of what people around you might think, but we can hear you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, let me not yell while there's all these people waiting for their flight.
Well, in any case, this is rAVe TV. This is our every Wednesday live TV show, the only live TV show that covers the commercial and high-end residential AV markets, digital signage markets, and UCC markets. We come to you live at ravepubs.com at noon Eastern every single week, as well as YouTube/ravepubs, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. As long as Elon Musk allows us to stay on Twitter, we'll be on Twitter. And as long as he doesn't cut us off, Steph.
I mean, yeah, I don't think he really has a choice. I think he's, unfortunately, I think it's funny. He lost a lot of money on that. So
far, as long as they keep it on, we just want them to keep it on. And I'll tell you, speaking of being on, we have a great show today. And Steph is at the airport because why, Steph? Tell them why you're at the airport.
I attended Zoomtopia 2022, which was my first time attending that show. And honestly, it's one of my favorite shows I've ever attended. It was so much fun.
And Zoomtopia is an awesome show. I've been there a few times. It's been a couple of years since I went there. I know they had a bunch of virtual shows.
Yep.
I know some of the big brand, like Aver was there, obviously. Aver is one of the brands that we do. In fact, they're a sponsor of rAVe TV. They were there. I know that
They were.
Oh, check it out. There we have a picture of Aver.
Yes, I didn't get to spend a lot of time in their booth, I think, because I was kind of scheduled and was like around. And by the time I was done, it was like the show floor closed in 30 minutes. But it was great. I have some pictures from the show as well to show. I spent a lot of time hanging out with Max Hub, and it's always lovely to hang out with them. They introduced their new IFP, which was very cool. I kind of got to walk around the show floor a little bit. I caught the keynote at the beginning of the day.
And the keynote speaker was who again?
So the beginning keynote was Eric, the CEO.
Eric Yuan?
He kind of did, Eric Yuan. He did the beginning keynote in the morning. But the one that kind of closed out the day was Eric Yuan interviewing Timbaland, which was really funny.
Timbaland, the singer?
They were just talking. Yes, that would be the one, the producer. So they were talking about creativity and creating a startup and all that went into that. And then the day ended in a Nelly concert, which was crazy. And then Timbaland came on stage with Nelly, and it was crazy. It was amazing.
You know, it's always been kind of a fun event. It's more less so of a trade show, more of a fun conference. One year that I went, Eric had a backpack on with beer in it, and he had a tap, and he was pouring beer for people live on the show. He was walking around. I mean, here's the CEO and founder of a company doing stuff like that. He's very involved. He's readily available, and he's not he's sitting in a ivory tower. He's involved and on the floor a lot. You go ahead?
Actually, Zoom had all of its higher level execs actually passing out hors d'oeuvres in the morning as people were getting into the show. Yeah, they're very into even their higher level execs were there and helping out, and they really wanted to show that they're not in an ivory tower, exactly like you were saying. So it was very cool.
Yeah, I'm excited that you had a chance to go. And we have a great show today. I know a lot of new people are watching rAVe TV today because they want to know where Chuck Espinoza is going. Chuck is leaving Avix. I mean, Chuck has been one of the most popular presenters in the history of our industry. Everyone knows Chuck. And we've done lots of things with Chuck in the past. He and I did a dunking booth together a few years ago at Infocom. and he and I are good friends. And Chuck's going to come on live and kind of like, high school athletes announce what team they're going to play for. He's going to come on and tell us what team he's going to go do training for. And we actually have a little surprise for you too, because it's not just Chuck that's going to this new location. We have a surprise. We have another sneak peek, another secret, I should say, guest that's going to announce live on rAVe TV today in just a few moments. We'll bring Chuck on and him on, and they're going to announce where they're going to go. Steph, what do you think? Even Steph doesn't know.
I'm excited.
I don't think Steph knows.
No, I don't.
So,
I mean, I have a feeling. I have an inkling, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, and I do know. I don't know if anyone else on here knows, but in any case, one of our big sponsors is Legrand, and Legrand's been with us at rAVe TV since day one. A year and a half ago, they started with us, and I want to ask Michelle Monazeri to come on. Michelle, how are you doing?
I'm good, Gary. How are you? Great job on the last name this time.
What's that?
I said great job on the last name this time.
I'm doing better.
You got
I
it.
learn from my mistakes usually. But in any case, I want to first off thank you for joining rAVe TV, and tell your. I don't know if you've been on rAVe TV before. You've been on a bunch of events we've done before, but do you want to talk about, first off, tell us what you do for Legrand?
Sure thing. So in the last couple of years, my role transitions, like you said, we've been around with you guys for a long time, but I moved into our digital signage team. So I'm managing our digital signage team, which is a really fun kind of group of people. And we are almost consultants in the digital signage space, which is really fun because we get to work with all of our partners, which is exciting for us.
And because Legrand owns a bunch of different brands that make different parts of the digital signage ecosystem, you get to pull from all those parts. And obviously with DSE, the Digital Signage Experience Show, which is the rename of the former Digital Signage Expo, happening just in a couple of weeks, I'm guessing I'm going to see you there, right?
Yeah, we're pretty stoked it's back. Like many people, this year has been the year of coming back into live events, and for digital signage to have its own platform is really nice to see. I think we're excited to see some friends we haven't seen in a couple of years. And, there's nothing like in person. When you get face to face with somebody you've been working with virtually for 2 years, it just propels the relationship, conversation, opportunities. So very, very excited to be there. Yeah.
And what can we expect from Legrand? Are you going to introduce new products? What are you going to do at the show?
So we're taking a little bit of a pivot in 2022. And we're just going to have a meeting space because, in digital signage, partnerships and relationships are key, right? And we are, I hate to say just infrastructure, but we are the infrastructure. And so it's really important for us to understand what our partners are doing in the spaces so that we can support them. So we're excited to have a place on the show floor where we can meet, have some conversations. Like I said, those conversations, a 20-minute face-to-face conversation is more valuable than 2 years virtually. So I think it will move the dial for us, and we'll learn a lot about what's to come in 23 and beyond for a lot of our partners.
Well, you're also having a pregame. You're going to kind of do an event prior to the show that I think is going to be a lot of fun. Talk about that, because I think that's something that people who are planning on going to DSE that are partners or potential partners of you might be interested in joining.
Yeah, for sure. So it's something that we're reintroducing back from 2019. It became one of the more popular events. So our partner pregame is at Topgolf. It's known to be quite a party. And we're partnering up with BrightSign, Epson, TSI Touch, and Snap Install. So some really big hitters in signage, and bringing the best of the best. And so it's an opportunity for us to network and have some cocktails and shoot some balls.
Well, if they scan that QR code right there, they get all the details. They can sign up for it. If you're going to DSE and you want to hit some golf balls, or even just make fun of people that are hitting golf balls as they drink more, including you, Michelle.
You can make that
scan that QR code, hang out there, and got some good brands there with Epson, TSI, Snap Install, and of course all the Legrand brands, which include almost a dozen brands that include digital signage. Some of the key brands there obviously are the mount products, Chief, because you got to mount these things, but also C2G, has become a big player in that segment of the market. And of course, the networking brands as well. I mean, digital signage is one of the first markets that has been exclusively over the network since its inception. So Michelle, I appreciate you coming on here. And, I know that, we're going to see you at other shows. And did I miss anything else going on at DSE we should talk about?
That's all I can think of. We're excited for the Disney Awards and, just to celebrate what's happened in the last couple of years and what's to come. I mean,
well, we appreciate you coming on and also appreciate your support of rAVe TV, the industry's only live TV show. It's fun to do this every week, and we've been doing it now for almost 90 episodes, so it's pretty awesome. Yeah. So thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Steph. I appreciate it.
And Steph, speaking of shows, why don't you talk about ISE?
Shows. Yeah, ISE is coming up very soon, isn't it? It's like January 31st through February 2nd or 3rd, I want to say.
Yeah, and we have a code actually that's on the screen right now. You can use our code, which is rAVe Gift, all lowercase, or
rAVe Europe.
rAVe Europe, all upper or lowercase, and that gets you into the rAVe Gift is the DSE code, by the way. rAVe Europe is the code for ISE, and that would be with 2 E's, rAVE, EUROPE. If you use that code, then that gets you into ISE for free and all the things that surround ISE. And I'm very excited about the keynote speaker. I don't know how to, Michelle will appreciate this. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's BK.
I want to say it's I think it's either Johansson or Johannesson, but he is of Epic Games, and he's going to be talking about how all paths lead to real time, which is essentially how he's going to talk about how content creators are really taking a lot and learning a lot from like the e-gaming industry, which is like, there's nothing more true. Like,
well,
like we're learning so much more.
Virtual production, obviously, the Unreal Engine has been a big part of virtual production. And if you've been to Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars, or been on any of the new Disney rides, all of those rides, including Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad, are now driven by Unreal Engine, which is made by Epic Games. So they're having a big impact on sort of bringing our industry into sort of like a gamification of content.
Yeah, exactly. Gary, did you know that when I was at Zoomtopia and everyone would ask where you were, and I was like, oh, he couldn't come to this one, it's only me. They were like, oh, is he at Disney?
That's the first response, is he must be at Disney?
The first response from like 3 people was, oh, is he at Disney then?
Unfortunately, I haven't been to Disney in a while, but I will be going before Christmas. I know for sure I'll be going there because I haven't been in a while and I miss it. But so we got other news, Steph. Why don't you take the next news story?
I'll take the next news, Gary. I know you got to go get ready for your special guest coming on. Chuck is going to come on with you in a little bit. So, yeah, I'll take this next news story and talk about that. So, Snap One has entered a partnership with Digital Watchdog. And this is just kind of a interesting deal because Digital Watchdog is a surveillance and video analytics company. So, in my opinion, I think it's just kind of showing how security and surveillance are just becoming more of a staple in all areas of AV, whether it's pro AV, whether it's home AV. Like, security is really, really becoming important to our industry. So mark my words about that. I'm sure we will see a lot more security stories. AV companies buying security companies. We're going to be seeing a lot of that in the next 6 months, next year. So that's that. You can scan the QR code if you'd like to read the entire story. Oh, Gary's back. There you are. Hi.
Hey.
Are you about ready to take it away and bring our guest on here?
Yep, let's do it. Hey, thanks. I'm excited to make this announcement live on rAVe TV. I'm very excited to be joined with my friend, Chuck Espinoza. Chuck, I want to say, first off, congratulations on educating more humans in the AV world than any other human on Earth. Like, literally, you have personally educated more people through the Avixa CTS program and all the outreach that you've done than any other human in the history of our industry. Congrats on that first.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks a lot. That's something I love to do and something I hold really, really close to the vest.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm excited that you picked rAVe TV to make this announcement. And, I feel like you're the high school senior announcing what college football he's going to play for. So I'm going to do a drum roll for you because people are wondering, where's Chuck going? And Chuck, where are you going?
So I am actually going to Aurora Multimedia. I'm going to be the new global director of education for Aurora Multimedia.
Okay, I am not surprised. I know Paul is a future forward thinker, and I'm not surprised that he grabbed you because he knows that the future of our industry is education. And the funny thing is, Chuck is not, first off, why did you pick Aurora? Just real quickly, why did you pick Aurora?
So I picked Aurora because we started talking about the educational program and the importance of education. And I've talked to a few companies about educational programs and developing education. And when I talked to Paul, he seemed extremely serious, more serious than anyone I talked to at other companies about good quality education, getting education out to the customers. And he seemed to get it. He seemed to really get it about how educating your customers makes a better business. I just had more of a feeling that he was 100% committed to getting the customers and the industry educated.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a huge deal because you are Avixa. I mean, like everyone associates the Avixa CTS program with Chuck Espinoza, and you're out there all the time. You've traveled globally with them. And you've helped develop the online programs. I was the chair of the CTS committee, CTSD and CTSI, and I know everything was handed over to you to basically carry on the torch once the committees were finished with the development work. But you didn't do it alone. One of the people that was right there along with you that is also joining you at Aurora Multimedia is Marcus Yarborough. Marcus, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing, Gary?
This is a twofer.
It is. Bringing the old team back together to make the industry a little bit brighter, I guess.
Well, I've traveled around a number of places. I mean, Chuck and I have been in a dunking booth together. We haven't done that, Marcus, but we've definitely trained the same people at the same time through some of the industry events. Tell me, what you've been doing over the last year and why Aurora?
Well, I was going around to the integrators and reacclimating myself with that side of the industry outside of education. And the whole time I was just being drawn right back to teaching. Chuck even reached out a few times about volunteering when he was at Avixa. And when I got contacted about a potential opening back in education, I just kind of leapt at it. Well,
I'm not surprised. And the genius behind all this, let's bring him on, Paul Harris himself. Paul, I'll tell you, this is a little bit of a risk, but in one sense, but it's not a risk at all in another sense, because although they won't be directly in charge of any sort of sales for the company, indirectly, it's going to have a huge benefit for you.
Yeah, there's absolutely no risk in this. It's all reward for everybody at hand, for the industry, for the employees, for everybody. The way I look at it is, and I've been, you got to have the right people. And I've heard nothing but positive things about Marcus and Chuck and how great of a tag team they are. So it's really a joint show is really what it is. They're both two very important individuals to our company right now. But it's not just about, people don't realize education comes from a lot of forms. In this particular case, it's educating people on our product. It's educating people on the technology that has to work with our product. So it's not just about our stuff. I want to educate them as a whole and give a complete experience. Because then they'll appreciate the technology more and they'll get less problems on the install. Because it's more than just my equipment, it's the equipment it has to work with.
You're the glue company. You're connecting up to everyone. So they have to kind of understand every piece of a system. And obviously you're expanding, with AV over IP, you're going into networking and you've also pioneered a lot of the HD-based T stuff and the Dante stuff. And Marcus is as a Dante god, no offense to Chuck. I don't know that there's anybody in the industry that knows more about Dante than Marcus. Congratulations, Paul, on coup. I mean, this is a coup. You got Chuck as quarterback. You got Marcus as a running back on a pretty high-powered offense. Congratulations for getting both of them at the same time. And
Thanks,
I'm
we're very pleased.
blown away that we're doing all this live on rAVe TV. And I don't know. First off, thanks for doing this live on rAVe TV. And I got to turn it back over to Steph because we got to get on with the news.
And I'm back. So I wanted to, first of all, that's crazy news, right? That is actually not where I thought that Chuck would go. So this is absolutely wild. I think that he and Paul that's going to be a gaggle of friends. That is going to be a fun company. And and I'm really excited.
It was awesome to have Chuck pick rAVe TV to do his announcement. We're excited. We're doing live. I think he wanted to do it live, make a big deal about it being live. And speaking of Avixa, Steph.
speaking of Avixa, we are going to have a best practices for trade show management launch and learn later today, 2 p.m. Eastern. So just in a little while, and that is going to be led by Barbara Goldstein. If you know Avixa, if you know trade shows, like you know her, so why wait? Like learn trade show management from the best. This is going to be a really great and informative launch and learn, and we really hope you guys join.
Yeah. So anyone in marketing, even if you're an integrator, you do trade shows. If you're a manufacturer, you do trade shows. You'll learn from somebody who helped run all the marketing elements in and around the Infocom, and even some of the ISE. We'll find out, and it's like an hour and 40 minutes away. So go ahead and register. Yeah. Scan that QR code, and you can register right now for that launch and learn. And all of our launch and learns have sneak peeks towards launch week 7, which is in the early spring. I forget if we've announced the dates of that yet, but it'll be coming up.
It's March 6th through 9th. So it's coming right up,
Yeah. Speaking of which, one of our sponsors who will be at ISE and part of Launch Week 7 is our handy dandy microphone company, Shure. And thanks to, hey, considering you're on airport internet and you're on airport headphones without a separate microphone, this sounds really good thanks to Shure. It's not like a consumer setup here. And we always sound good thanks to Shure. And I think do we have a message from Shure? Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, we have a message.
It's not Nelly, but it sounds really good, Steph.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So we want to promote 2 last things before we let you go. I want to thank again Chuck Espinoza for using the rAVe TV for that announcement. I want to thank Aber. I want to thank Shure, and I want to thank Legrand for being a sponsor of rAVe TV every week. This is the industry's only live TV show. We've been coming to you live every week, every single week for the last year and a half without fail. Wow. We also do this show live every single day that there's a trade show. So we're on the show floor doing it live. We'll be doing it live at DSE November 17th, 18th, and 19th. And if you happen to be in the Las Vegas area and you want to go to DSE, we have a free code for you to get in. It's called rAVe Gift. Just scan that QR code and you can go and hop on over there and register for DSE. And of course, we want to promote one of our most favorite shows, which is ISE 2023. I would venture to guess that this is probably the favorite, or one of the top 2 favorite shows between that and Infocom of any of the shows in the industry. ISE 2023 is January 31st through February 3rd, and we actually have another free code for you if you use this code rAVE Europe, 2 E's, RAVE EUROPE. So you're doing that Europe twice. You're spelling it properly. Thanks to Steph. You can use that, scan that QR code. That'll take you to a link that sends you to the registration automatically. Of course, you can always Google it and find it. Type in rAVE Europe in there, and you'll get into the exhibits for free, and it's in Barcelona. Exactly. I'm very much looking forward to being in Barcelona in February.
Yeah, this will be your first Barcelona trade show.
Rubbing it in again that I had COVID.
Yeah.
Yes, I got COVID.
COVID struck at an inopportune time for you last year, or I guess this year.
It did, but it was kind of cool because it gave me a chance to watch our coverage. I'm in the middle of the coverage. I'm never a viewer, and being a viewer, I will say, I loved it, and I think the rest of the company hated that I was a viewer, and I'll tell you why. Because it made me realize what we were doing wrong on our website. And I said after that, we got to redesign the microsites And I think that frustrated people, because, including you, Steph. Come on, be honest, because we were ready to launch a new website earlier this year, and Gary put the halt on that and said we got to change some things. But we are getting ready to launch a brand new website. I'm very excited about it. We've spent more than 2 years, not exaggerating, more than 2 years developing it. And everything's going to be new. The website, the microsites. I'm especially excited about the new microsites. I'm excited about the website, and we're going to launch that really soon. Giving you a little teaser here without giving you the details, but I'm excited about that. So having COVID made me realize like there's some things that we're missing there, and our coverage is amazing. And what we do, the people that do that coverage, for everyone from the behind the scenes like Carrie to in front of the cameras like you and me and Emily and people like that, and everyone in between, we do an amazing job. But our tech could always be better, and I think we're finally going to have what we need better. And I'm excited about
I think that we were just kind of going about it the wrong way. I think that like you had a good point where you were like, well, let's like dream about what we want and then like make it happen instead of just like trying to build off what we think is possible.
Yeah, and we originally designed our website and microsites 12 years ago, and we basically modified it over those years. But now we started from scratch, and we redid the whole thing from the ground up based on what we heard people and what we saw analytically, what we saw people looking at, and how they were using our sites. And when you go to a show like ISE, which we will go to ISE, and we'll shoot 1,500 videos as long as the brands show up, maybe more. We've shot as many as 2,000. And
that's wild.
To have that video engine and to have that accessibility is one thing, but the other thing is to bring it outside of the platform, and that was really important to us. So we're making some changes there as well. So anyway, look, you got to board a flight, don't you, Steph?
Yeah, and I've got a little bit of time, but yes, I should probably.
So you're in the terminal. You're in the Delta terminal, right? So there's a restaurant, if it's open, called Pickup Sticks.
Pickup Sticks.
Yeah, it's fast food Chinese, and it's the best fast food Chinese you've ever had.
All right. Well, I mean, great. You just
go
figure
try
out my lunch for me. Okay.
If it's there, if it's open, sometimes I go there and it's not open. But if it is open, go get Pickup Sticks. It is amazing fast food Chinese food, and you can only get it in the LA area. So
sounds good.
Yep. Good. All right.
All right.
Look, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for everyone behind the scenes for making this all happen. And we will see you next Wednesday. And is it next Wednesday we will be live at no, it's the Wednesday after. 2 weeks from now we'll be live at DSE. But next Wednesday we'll be back in our normal place.
Next Wednesday. Yes. Thursday we will be live at DSE. Next Wednesday we'll have a normal episode.
That's right. Okay, so Thursday we'll be live at DSE. Okay, perfect. All righty. Well, we'll see you on our normal episode next Wednesday, and we'll see you from the show floor on Thursday, where we start doing daily rAVe TV episodes. Someone's got to keep up with us. So anyway,
someone's got to keep up.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
It's the weekly show about rAVe with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary.